Hey YouTube, thanks for stopping by the channel and thanks for clicking play today. Man, what a week it's been. GM unveiled the 2025 C8 ZR1. They killed this, knocked it out of the park. I'll be the first one to admit, guys, I was wrong. Okay, I went with that they were going to cross plane crank this, switch it over. They ended up keeping it a flat plane crank, but the big news is the horsepower. This car is making 1,064 horsepower at 7,000 RPMs. It also makes 826 pound-feet of torque. I think that came in around 6,000 RPMs. So they've lowered the RPMs a little bit. We're going to get into that a little bit. We didn't get a whole lot with the unveil the other night as far as pricing or some of the other things, but we did get specs on the engine, which has probably been the most discussed topic. I know we've talked about it a lot on the Horsepower Obsessed live stream every other week on Corvette Weekly. We've talked about it a lot. I've done videos on it. Other people have done videos of it. Plenty of people have done videos on it. And it's been the topic, right? Everybody wants to know what's going to be power in this monster. And I can't believe that they ended up putting another 400 horsepower in the ZR1 over the Z06. Like, it's just mind blowing that you're going to get 400 more horsepower. Now, this new motor is going to be called the LT7. It is LT6 based, okay? But there are some improvements to make it be able to handle boost. We talked about these a little bit on Justin's live stream, but I've kind of always said them as well. But the big things is that you're getting better rods, you're getting bigger pins, you're getting different pistons. They are dropping the compression ratio from 12.5 to 1 on the Z06, the naturally aspirated Z06, the LT6, to 9.8 to 1 on the LT7, which is going to make it handle the boost better. There is a nominal 20 psi of boost from what I understand as far as the way they have the car tuned from the factory, but that drop in compression is what's going to allow it to run on pump gas. I mean, we're talking 1,000 horsepower on pump gas on 93 octane. That is going to be crazy that they're going to be able to do that. Okay, the dropped compression ratio is one of them. The beefed up internals is another. I'm sure there's some amazing tuning in the software as far as that goes from GM to make those numbers safely. But we're going to get 1,064 horsepower and 800 pound-feet of torque from a factory offering from GM. They've also done some things as far as beefing up the transmission. The 8-speed DCT is getting beefed up to handle the more power. And then it has a mixture of both port and direct injection fuel injection. Also, I think it's going to be one, and then under boost or full boost, it'll be both the direct and the port injection, but just one kind of at idle when you're sitting there. But the other thing that it's got some pretty awesome anti-lag technology. And I'll go into that here in just a second. Now, the anti-lag stuff GM says, and I have kind of their press release here, but it says that when you lift off the accelerator, the anti-lag system adjusts the engine's variable valve timing. It closes the turbo wastegate and opens the throttle to keep air moving through the impellers. It's supposed to help maintain the boost and improves the engine's response once you get back on the gas. And the reason being for this is these are pretty big turbos. I mean, they're like 70 something millimeter turbos. Those are big turbos. So again, this anti-lag technology to keep the airflow going through the turbo, so when you get back into it, you don't have to spool the turbo up all the way. It's going to make it pretty responsive. It's going to make it fast. So, and you shouldn't feel any turbo lag while you're driving the car with this anti-lag technology. I'm actually really interested to see how this feels. I've been in some turbo cars, lots of turbo cars over the years, but most of them are single turbos, big turbo cars, and they have a lot of lag. So this is actually going to be nice to experience this on the anti-lag setup. The one thing I will say is I've seen some pictures. Everybody's seen the release pictures of the intake manifold for the LT7. I am a fan of the design. I like how it looks very Ferrari-esque, very McLaren-esque, that it has the intakes coming in on the sides with them. But I don't like that blue color and almost that like rough finish over the top. And I'm not really a fan of that. Maybe it'll grow on me, maybe it won't. But right now, as I'm kind of looking at it, I really don't like the finish on that. But the guys there that did the reveal for GM, they're claiming what he said was well under 10 seconds for the quarter mile. At the power level of 1,000 horsepower, you're probably going to get 850 to the tire or something. You're looking at a mid 9-second car. Trap speed's probably close to 150 miles an hour, if not over 150 miles an hour. So you're looking at like a 9.5, 150 is kind of, high 140s is where I'm going to call it. We'll see when they start to release the actual figures. 0 to 60, I have no idea. It's going to depend on how good the launch control is, how sticky the tires are, and if you can get the power down. I have a hard enough time getting the power down on my Z06 without having to worry about traction. And this car's got 400 more horsepower. So I imagine, and it's rear wheel drive, it's not all wheel drive. So I imagine it's going to be a problem as far as that goes. I mentioned the transmission was beefed up, and basically they have wider gears. They have what they say a beefier input and output shafts, reworked lubrication system designed to prevent overheating during high-speed driving, and they've shot peened the differential gears. So it's all together a stronger unit. They also limit the engine's torque when operating in the first two gears of the transmission, both what they say is a preservation measure and a necessity. They said otherwise it would be impossible to get the power to the ground. So this is kind of what I was talking about getting these 1,000 horsepower to the ground. So if they're going to limit the torque, but you're going to be able to ramp up into the boost and into the horsepower pretty quickly, you could theoretically get some really low 0 to 60 times. Low 2 seconds is probably possible. We'll see how this torque management works out. But they're taking that into consideration, that they want us to be able to get all that power down and just not smoke the rear tires and just do a smoke show. They actually want to get the performance out of it. The other thing that they talked about was a top speed. That I believe they have the video of the footage of the V-Box or the Dragon. It was 205 miles an hour or something like that. But they're claiming 215, maybe more for a top speed. We'll have to see. It's probably going to be dependent on what aero package you have. I imagine the base car with the without the high ZTK wing and all that stuff, it's slippery, so it doesn't have as much downforce. So it'll probably post a higher top speed. But I'm still interested to see what that is. I mean, 215 is no joke. If it's more, that's hypercar territory, what you're talking about right now. I mean, these are hypercar numbers. Let's be real. These are LaFerrari numbers. These are, McLaren Senna numbers. These are, McLaren P1 numbers. I mean, these are legit hypercar, supercar numbers that we're going to be getting when the ZR1 comes out. You could see in the press release photos, they had the new Accelerate Yellow was the big car that they were from. They also had the base coupe in Hysteria. That was the convertible. So I like the yellow in this car. I like the brighter colors in this car. I wish we had a couple more brighter options, like maybe a green, like the lizard green or the Porsche greens, or some of those. I love that they brought Sebring orange back. That's my favorite color. I'm glad they brought that back. But the other thing I like, and you'll see it in this rear view here, I love the split window. I love that they brought the split window back. I love it, love it, love it. What a great design cue. That's also going to give you a instant visual recognition that this is not a Z06, that this is something special, that this is a ZR1, and I love that. I do like the ZTK wing. I do like the front arrow. I do like the arrow channel from under through where the frunk used to be, because the frunk's gone now. The intercoolers are there, so I do like that look as well. And I like both the colors. I like seeing both of them there. The new wheels, I love the new wheel design. They have a new carbon fiber wheel in that design. Then they have a new metal wheel in that design. We'll have to see what the weight difference is between the Z06 carbon fiber wheels and the ZR1 carbon fiber wheels, but I imagine the ZR1 wheels are going to come in about the same. The only downside I see to those is my factory Z06 wheels here are a little bit difficult to clean because there's a lot of surfaces, and the ZR1 wheels have way more surfaces than that. But, in the reveal, I mean, it's a Z06 on steroids. I love the way it looks. They have the extra two intakes in the back for more cooling. But looking at everything from the front view, the rear view, they just did a great job with this car. It looks really, really good. It looks like it's going fast when it's sitting still. And the performance we're going to get out of this car is insane. There's no price releasing yet. I'm thinking with options, so there's no way this thing doesn't hit $200,000. I'm thinking a 150, 155 MSRP, and then very quickly we end up over 200 with options. ZTK, 3LZ, like all of these things. Very quickly you're going to end up over 200K. But still, even at 200K, you're talking about a 1,064 horsepower car with a top speed of possibly 215 or more. That's an amazing buy. Still, the Z06 is a bargain buy for supercar performance. The ZR1 is going to be a bargain buy for hypercar performance. I don't even know what they have planned for the Zora. I mean, it's just mind-blowing to me that we've got another model coming after they reveal the ZR1. And I'm hoping soon we get some, performance numbers, quarter mile, 0 to 60, top speed, some hard, fast numbers, and also get some pricing so we can kind of see where this is. I am on the list for a ZR1. We'll see. Like I said, if it comes in at MSRP about 150, that's something, that's doable at this point. But looking at, you could very quickly get to 200K. And, I'm just not in the market for a $200,000 car at the moment. If you are and you're on the list, you are going to get a HyperCar from GM for this. No doubt about it. Hands down. It's been a great week for this. Guys, stay with me. I'm going to keep doing updates as soon as we get information from GM about this, the performance numbers, pricing, different things. As more photos start to trickle out, we'll get them to you. Please like, share, and subscribe. It helps us grow this channel. Leave a comment below, hit the like button, get this video rolling so that way we can continue to build steam and build momentum and keep growing our channel. I would love nothing more than, a year from now to have a, instead of my Challenger parked here, a Sebring orange ZR1 next to my Z06. That would be the ultimate dream for me. We're just going to have to see how this plays out, and you guys are going to have to come along with us for the drive. We'll get you more information as everything comes out. It's going to be an exciting time. We are going to be at Corvettes at Carlisle with our booth. We'll have our cars there. We'll have our painted intake manifolds. We'll have all that there. Come by and see us. Come by and hang out. We're going to have a good time. We will catch you guys next time, but stay with us and pay attention. Hit that notification button so you know when we're uploading new content as this ZR1 information starts to roll out. Thanks for hanging, guys. We'll see you next time.